Hey y'all, how's it going? My name is Casey Ramirez. I'm a full stack software engineer based out of Dallas, Texas, and I'm here to present to you Rambler. Like many other software engineers, I love going on walks. I go on walks to problem solve algorithm or data structure questions, to think about concepts from a fresh perspective, or to simply clear my mind after a long day of coding. And I thought to myself, it'd be great if there was a place for engineers like myself to find other engineers in the area to go on walks with, to share ideas, or to simply learn more about what the other does. And that's how Rambler was born. Rambler's come a long way since this initial idea and now supports more than just walks and those in the tech industry. And I'm super excited to show you guys what Rambler is today. So without further ado, let's jump right in. All right, so whenever you open up Rambler, you are greeted with the login page. You can, of course, either log in or sign up. We're going to go ahead and walk through the sign up process. And as I'm sure you can imagine, Rambler is a location-based service, right? So if two people want to go on a bike ride together, they need to be at the same place at the same time. And so to solve this problem, Rambler relies pretty heavily on the Google Maps API. And so you begin by selecting what city you're in. And so let's say we are in San Francisco, California. We click next. We'll say our name is John Ham. And we will tell Rambler what we do. Now you notice Rambler is only asking for a little bit of information at a time, which makes sense. If you think about a conversation you have with someone, you only ask them a little bit of information at a time. You don't go in and ask them everything you want to know at once. And so I wanted Rambler to be structured in the same way. I thought that was a lot more natural user experience versus just having a user open up a page and it being filled with user inputs. And so let's go ahead and make it official, right? We'll put in johnham@gmail.com and we'll put in our password, which is there's validation on both the front end and the back end to ensure the validity of data coming in. And so whenever we click go, it seems as if my passwords still do not match. Whenever we click go, we are redirected to the activities page, and this will serve as the home page for Rambler, but we're going to come back to this. For right now, let's look at this little notification we're getting in the account tab. Whenever we log in, you see that Rambler is still asking for some information from us. This information is not essential. However, it does make Rambler feel like home. And so whenever the users were signing up, I didn't want to ask them for this up on the front end, because I thought that could serve as a stumbling block for users, right? If you ask them for too much, they could get tired of filling stuff out, and it would diverge them from using Rambler. And so if we click not now and we go away and we navigate back, you see that message is still there. So let's go ahead and complete our profile. We can put in a profile photo. And so here's this sweet photo of this person snowboarding. That's what we want to use. And we can even update a cover photo to really make Rambler feel like home. We can put in a description, hello world, and we can even update our job title, where we work, the industry that we work in, right? And let's go ahead and save these changes. Of course, we have to put in our password to ensure that it is us actually making these changes. And whenever we do so, those changes are not only persisted on the front end, but of course on the back end as well. And to really complete our profile, let's go ahead and set a goal. And so let's say we want to be super active this year and we want to move 40 miles with Rambler. You see that those changes are made on the front end in real time. As far as these other user stats, they're obviously empty, right? Because we haven't done anything yet. And so let's go ahead and change that. If we navigate over to the Around Me tab, these are different activities that are happening in our area. And so let's take a look at this one. To do so, we click Learn More, and we see that it's a 7-mile hike with this guy named Wes Smith happening today at 1 p.m. And that sounds super great, so let's go ahead and do it. Whenever we do so, we see that our hike with Wes has been scheduled. If we go back over to our activities page, you see that's added to our calendar in real time. Let me pull over Wes' profile. Here we are, just on a different window, logged into Wes' profile. You see that he now has a notification for his activity page, and Rambler tells us, hey, you have this new hike with John, right? Obviously, we don't need to be notified because we are the ones that scheduled that hike with Wes. But whenever Wes navigates back to Rambler, he's notified about this update. Hey, this posting that you did, it's been fulfilled by this guy named John. And so we can close that. We can open this hike that's going on with John Hamm. We see our profile right here. We can even send a message. And we can go ahead and look at that we can go ahead and look at that message coming through from Wes Smith saying hello. You see it shows up on our end. And I want to show you all another feature. And so let's say we are super bad at managing our time, right? And we see this activity going on today at 1:30. Whenever we try to sign up for it and we try to go on this walk with Jerry, you see that Rambler doesn't actually let us do that. Rambler actually checks our schedule and ensures that we have availability before we try to schedule something. And so, you know what? There's this walk going on tomorrow with Jerry Garcia at 12:30 p.m. And that sounds great. If we sign up, we're allowed to do so because we don't have any scheduling conflicts with that time. Of course, we see that show up here in our activities tab. And you'll notice the different durations of activities. And so this one is a 7-mile hike with Wes Smith. And on average, it will take someone about 2.5 hours to hike 7 miles, whereas this is a 3-mile walk, which would only take someone about an hour and a half. And so you'll notice these scheduled activities have different durations dynamically based on what they are. And so let's go ahead and post our own activity that we want to go on. And so let's say this Friday, we want to go on a 4-mile run around the Painted Lady. And we see here it is right here. And if we click go, of course we got to choose a starting time. There you go. You can see the validation for this go tab. We want to do it at 9 a.m. If we click go, we can see that our run has been posted. Here in a different tab, we see that it shows up right here. We can click learn more, and we can even run with John. And here it is in John's profile. We see, hey, you have a new run with Jerry, and here it is taking place. And let's say, you know what, that actually doesn't work out for us. We want to go ahead and cancel that. We can cancel this run, and you see it is removed from our profile. You can see, of course, all of these user stats are updated in real time. And that's Rambler. And so I hope you enjoyed getting to see it. I coded the front end using React and the back end using Rails. All of the front end was coded by hand. I did not use any UX libraries. I didn't use a Bootstrap or any of those libraries, but I coded all this by hand. And so I'm super proud with how it turned out and just how well the logic works. And I really hope you enjoyed getting to see it. Thank you so much for checking it out.